to fight. My parental rights are not being respected. School districts are not listening to us. And, we're a small county in Hill Country, Texas. And I moved here from Harris County in Houston to get away from this stuff. And I come here and it's here. And that we're also fighting the same thing. And I am so thankful that Ron DeSantis is exposing the advanced placement program. The AP program has been woke for a while. There have been concerns with them already. And this agenda is being infiltrated into rural America because that's the only voting bloc that liberals do not have.
Yep, exactly. That's why they want to brainwash them. Like, for instance, I just heard of a girl wanting to be a cat near my hometown in Ohio. And she's like suing her parents and the school so she can be a cat.
Ooh, I can play this game too. My kid's friend's mom heard that next month, her kid's other friend's class is learning about racism in the Paleozoic era. She also overheard that all the third grade teachers made their students wear white t-shirts as they sprayed them with a gardening hose at recess. If you, in your imagination, can turn public school into a den of sexuality and a segregated malt shop, you might be a modern-day Republican. And since Governor Ron DeSantis banned an elective AP-level African-American Studies course in Florida schools because it promotes CRT and queer theory.
Now, who would say that an important part of Black history is queer theory? That is somebody pushing an agenda on our kids. And so when you look to see they have stuff about intersectionality, abolishing prisons, that's a political agenda. And so that's the wrong side of the line for Florida standards. We believe in teaching kids facts and how to think, but we don't believe they should have an agenda imposed on them. When you try to use Black history to shoehorn in queer theory, you are clearly trying to use that for political purposes.
The allegations against teachers have ramped up, and Florida educators now are threatened into teaching less U.S. history. Why would a whole political party want to villainize school? Many Republicans probably went to grade school and maybe college and benefited from that education. Well, it's because actual education of our kids is not as useful for political power as dissolving academic institutions that historically have been liberal. The heart of public schools' ideology is to educate wholly so students become more civically active and become good, knowledgeable, responsible citizens. Coming from all walks of life, students learn about each other's experiences. They discuss, they debate, and they understand what it means to be American. That's all democracy. But the plan to dissolve public schools is comprehensive. America has moved away from civic education in the last 50 years and focused more on priming students for getting a job somewhere that contributes to the GDP. In addition to Florida, a vast majority of states have taken legal action against teaching America's racial and sexist history. And the pandemic enabled right-wingers to blame public schools for mask mandate, authoritarianism, and expose their secret radical laissez-faire indoctrination agenda. And at the same time, there's the corporate push for school choice and vouchers, which would lead to greater segregation, inequality of opportunity, cherry-picked truths, and lack of exposure to diversity. So what are Republicans so afraid African American studies would do for students? Educate them on people's specific American experiences, like queer African Americans?
Now, who would say that an important part of Black history is queer theory? That is somebody pushing an agenda on our kids. And
that would help us recognize that Black Americans are not a monolith, a voting bloc, a stereotype. There were and are LGBTQ Black Americans, and man, have they had a target on their backs. African American studies could inspire deeper discussion on race and its place in American culture and policy. Maybe it would show the Republican Party's dark history. Maybe it would reveal voting is being suppressed and policing has discriminated against Black people. And maybe it'll inspire students to go vote or run for office or feel empathy for people the right wing demonizes. Oh, hell no. Republicans are afraid of that. And they want to write America's narrative for everyone else, which means erasing unhelpful parts of Black, LGBTQ, Muslim history, and preserving the parts that support their Christian nationalist plans for the future. Tolerance and understanding undermine their power. That's why the public school model is important. It is inclusive, and everyone must be educated in order for this democracy to work. Let's get the federal government to codify equal rights to a full public education, because as we can see, the states can't always be trusted with this responsibility. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to follow us on The Breakdown. Keep the hope, and I'll see you the next time.